Hey there, this is Wythe Marshall from the Stillfleet Studio. We put together a little podcast called Why We Roll, and now we're very proud to be part of the network Podderation. So if you're listening to one of Podderation's other great shows, and you're interested in TTRPGs specifically, that's tabletop role-playing games, you might be interested in our show. Why We Roll is all about how you make TTRPGs, what makes them fun, different kinds of stories you can tell with TTRPGs, and even the business, so the practical advice side. So if any of that sounds appealing, whether you're a GM, you want to design your homebrew game, or you're interested in getting in the industry, why don't you head over to Why We Roll, check us out. We really, really appreciate it, and keep making awesome stuff.
Welcome to Board Game is Honest podcast, where everyone's welcome at the table, but of course, as always, especially since it's 2026 now and it's really, really crazy out there, no one knows whose turn it is. This is Chris.
Hey, and this is Anthony.
And this is episode 562, Predictions for 2026. We like to thank all our Patreon backers for helping us coalesce the vapors to let you know what's going to be great this year. Hey, friends, we're so glad to have you back here with us this week. We got a fantastic episode. Anthony and I have gone off the edge, so much so that we're going to make insane, wild accusations about what's going to happen in the tabletop industry with very little information.
Accusations. All right, I didn't know we were going that route. Okay,
Oh, I got accusations in my predictions.
All right, well, let me just tell you about Tom Vassell.
Oh no,
Rodney Smith. Okay.
Oh, here you go.
We got people. We got accusations.
This is going to be the burn episode, folks. This is the one that gets us thrown off on all the networks.
You didn't know this was the last episode, friends, but here we are. About to go ham on everybody.
Usually the Patreon backers want us to do yet another episode. This episode, they're just like, shut it down, burn it down, 2026. It's got a vibe to it. It's got a Blood Rage vibe to it.
Oh yeah. Well, lots of yelling happening.
Lots of yelling, lots of just, brandishing accusations and craziness and predictions about the future, with or without a time machine that we may or may not have stolen from a certain location, which we cannot speak about. But nonetheless, we used it for tabletop purposes. Yay!
Woo! That was a bad idea.
I know. We wanted to go back and fix things, but this seemed more, I don't know, trendy and SEO warranted. I don't know.
On brand?
Yeah, on brand. Yeah.
What's the grossest way we could say this?
Well, look. Everyone out there is listening for tabletop content. We could talk about other things, Anthony. That's
true. We could, and then people would tell us in our comments how we should not do that. And sometimes it's relevant, and we are going to do that. But no, we have some tabletop stuff to talk about, and you know what? Some of it's spicy.
Ooh,
from my end at least, I can say some of it's spicy.
Are the accusations spicy level?
Oh, you know what? There might actually be a couple accusations.
See, there you go. I predicted the future of the podcast. Ooh. And Anthony
Things
and
are about to go wrong.
We don't know each other's predictions for 2026.
We do not.
Do we have a prediction about the podcast for 2026? I did not put one in there.
Oh, no, I didn't either.
Oh, damn. That would be like an obvious prediction that we could make and actually get right.
Is it a prediction, though, and it's like your own business, or is it just a goal?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I don't know. I think you can have goals nonetheless, goals and hopes, but predictions are typically like you're throwing a dart out there and the dart has its own trajectory to it. So there's a lot of other forces getting involved with it. The goal is just like internal, kind of like, I would like this to happen aspirationally, but you throw the dart to that goal and then things happen.
That's true. We've had a lot of things happen over the years, so it's definitely
a lot of things happened.
I don't think our goal during COVID was to run a a live stream on Twitch for Board Game Arena. Like, that was not our goal, but it happened.
It was good.
It was great.
It was very good. It was very great.
Yeah.
And
it was also not our goal for them to get bought by Asmodee. So,
Aw. That was a great show, man. Seriously, that was a great show.
I know. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think back on that fondly sometimes. I'm like, man, that's cool. Why don't we still do that? Oh, right, Asmodee.
You know what the funny thing is too, like we did BGA live with Board Game Arena, and the general concept obviously is that this was going to be content that people were going to watch live and be able to like comment on and talk about, and like to be like a real sporting event.
Yeah.
And this is something we had talked about for a decade. I mean, we had talked about this for a long time. I think we had tabletop television and some other kind of concepts battered around a bit. And the really funny, crazy thing was we were bringing people in typically at the last second. We were bringing people from all over the place. We were bringing friends in, and they were like hardcore gamers battling it out. But there was no guarantee whatsoever that those games would be good and or fun.
Right. Yeah, it could have been really boring. And it
Super
never was.
boring.
It never was.
It never was. And I take zero credit for that.
No.
No, like the game players were like really dynamic and taking big risks, and like the games itself, again, if you play Euro games, and you do because you listen to this podcast, you know how often like someone takes a lead, or a Euro game just like someone has a lead and that's it. And then you just have to sit for the next half hour and just watch them win the game. And like that did not happen. We had fun. We added a lot of fun to it.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, wow. Like there was
hat eating and everything. It was great.
There was wild predictions. Talking about predictions. I made wild predictions and they came true.
Yeah.
I did. And then people were forced to eat hats because of it.
Yeah. That was fun. I remember that episode because I was producing that day. I think I was sick. And you guys had a great time. It was fun.
That was a great time and a great episode. And I made wild prediction of like someone coming back from nowhere. And I was rebuffed several times. And I said, would you eat your hat? And he ate his hat because he was wrong.
Good times.
We got to play a lot of our favorite games out there. You know, Clans Caledonia was one of the games, actually, in fact.
Yeah.
That we played on there, which is fantastic. I love to see that burnt toast as a character there.
Yeah.
That was great. So we have a long and interesting history of making wild choices and predictions about the future. And strangely enough, oftentimes, once in a while, they do come true.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's, yours come true.
Oh,
I
thanks,
think.
buddy. Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's been documented. It's on the podcast.
Yeah. Historically, I don't know that I've had too many come true, and I know other people on the show have definitely not had that many come true.
It's true.
So,
I've had
some wild stuff,
true.
but yeah, you've had a few.
And with little if no knowledge whatsoever, my friends, like you listen to this podcast, and you're like, these guys are the biggest people in tabletop gaming. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Mom. I appreciate you thinking that. But everyone else does not think that. But nonetheless, every once in a while, it does happen 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So we will have some of those predictions for you later. And we predict that you'll stick with us to hear those because that's fun. And that's what this podcast is, Anthony. It's about fun and also making interesting predictions.
It is. Yeah. So we're going to do that. It's going to be good.
All right, everybody. But before we get into all that fun stuff, there was a couple of, or at least one update we want to talk about, Anthony. Why don't you bring people up to the state of play with BGA? Would this happen to be a conference of some note?
Yeah. So you've all heard us talk about Board Game Academics many times over. We have a new conference that we've only briefly mentioned on this podcast, and it is open for registration. It is coming up in April, and we're very excited about it.
Yay!
So
we did a thing.
Well, we're about to do a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to continue doing things. Is what we're saying.
So when we put together the conference, and then I think the conference registration locked down the last time in October, and then we got in the train to go to the conference, and then we got to the hotel at the conference, and then we got to the conference, and then the conference was happening, And I kept saying to Anthony the entire time, I'm like, we did a thing, right? He's like, yeah, not yet. It's not done yet. I was like, we're there, we're done, we did it, right? We did it. He's like, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. It's like,
my brain won't let me say we've done the thing until we've done the thing.
Yeah. Even after we had all the things set up and all the things lined up and the thing started and the thing quasi ended, and then we got on the train on the way back, and I'm like, see, we did it, right? We did it. Are we okay now? He's like, yeah, I think we did. Yeah, okay, we did it.
Yeah, we did the thing.
So
the thing has been done.
So this conference is called Tabletop Scholars. This is a conference of a lot of fun and prestige, nonetheless, because this conference is all about you coming out here with all your professional credentials to sit down with other fancy people with professional credentials in your field and industry, and then playing tabletop games to let us know if those tabletop games are good enough to be played in your particular job, industry, practice, that these might have value outside of just being fun, and they can make a real difference in the world. So if you're looking for a wonderful professional development conference on the surface, and then underneath a lot of tabletop game playing, this is the conference for you, my friends.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit broader, but also like super targeted to like the types of people that we're working with. And you get to play games, but you're also doing fun academic stuff at the same time.
Yes.
And we have a lot of great programming for it as well.
Yeah, Thursdays is going to be a professional development day with a ton of great speakers, a ton of great professional tracks, all the different industries that you could possibly think of. That's somewhat whatever related to tabletop gaming. Obviously, a lot of after-hours gaming, hitting up huge, friendly local game stores like Millennium Games. And then the next 3 days is going to be gaming with your colleagues, which is also a lot of fun, too, because you get some great games to the table, hot stuff that's in the industry, and just really a good time to get together with people up at Rochester, New York. And, of course, as always, the Strong National Museum of Play, my friend. That has a lot of fun stuff to play at.
We do love the Strong National Museum of Play. It was a lot of fun in October. I'm excited to be back, especially with the extra day. That'll be fun because we spent a lot of time in the museum, but I don't feel like I spent enough time in that museum.
Yeah. There'll be a good block of time to explore the museum, to get tours in the museum, to play with all the great stuff. And if you haven't checked out the Strong National Museum of Play, you absolutely should. It's the United States of America's kind of collection of everything related to play. Toys, game shows, video games, tabletop games, role play stuff, and just all the stuff is very interactive. And we talked about the museum previously for the October conference. This is also a wonderful opportunity to bring your family so that they can really enjoy the museum while you get to play games.
Yeah. So, awesome opportunity all around.
Yeah, wonderful block hotel right across the street, and we want everyone to attend. Anthony, that's not the full might of the State of Play with BGA. We're also having our call for papers. Call, Anthony, call for people to do papers.
I'm calling right now.
There you go.
It. Yeah.
Tell them what that means.
Yeah. So every year we put out a call for papers for our upcoming journal and conference. This year, that call is now open, so you can submit your abstracts for academic papers that would be submitted for the October conference, which we run every year, that is featuring the materials that will be published in next year's journal. So just for a sense of how all this works, right now we are in the process of finalizing the papers that were presented by those people in October, who were accepted in last year's call for papers. So if you submit a paper right now, we'll go through the approval process. If you're accepted, you'll be invited to the conference in October. You'll come, you'll present. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll have a blast at the Strong National Museum of Play in our October conference. And then your paper will be published in 2027. In terms of like what to submit, there's an awesome list up on the website. You can kind of look through. It gives you ideas of different areas. But really what we're looking for is academic or professional investigations of how games are used in the world to either represent elements or to practically impact the way we interact with one another. So if you are, a new scholar, if you're somebody who hasn't written a paper in a long time, I still encourage you to submit something. We work directly with our authors. So like you could say, hey, I have a cool idea. Does this work? I'm happy to have that conversation with you. We can go through what works and what doesn't. And also once you get to the paper writing process, you have kind of help all along the way. Both editorially and with the peer reviewers who provide the anonymous feedback that help people revise their work. So highly recommend you check it out if you have any interest of academic publishing or just generally publishing and telling the world about what you do with games. That call for papers is open until March 15th. You have a bit of time. And if you have questions, info@boardgameacademics.com, let me know. And I'll hit you up right away.
Wonderful. And the new journal issue will be coming out
in March. Yes.
Excellent.
About the same time this closes. Yeah. March 10th to the 15th, somewhere in the middle of the month. We'll have volume 3 will go up.
Excellent. And just a little housekeeping note for everyone out there. We talk about BoardGamersAnonymous.com, the website that Anthony puts together and puts up there. It is updated. It's all nice and clean and shiny for the brand new year. So if you haven't been there in a while, or if you have been and you were like, hey, clean this up, make it nice and shiny. Anthony made it nice and shiny.
It is nice and shiny now, yeah. A new theme, everything's running a little smoother. It's easy to use. It works much, much better on a phone.
Yeah, so, much better on the phone, easier to search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, check that out. We've got our end of the year lists are up. My top 10 list from last year is up. You can check that out as well. All sorts of cool stuff.
Yes. And BoardGameAcademics.com. You could also go over there, get a free membership, no cost. You could be anybody who's interested in tabletop gaming, going a little bit beyond. You could sign for a membership there. It is free. So join us there, get a lot more content on both sites. And again, as always, patreon.com/BGA. All Patreon backers get a lot of great new content on there, a lot of stuff to check out. And of course, as always, it supports us to being able to put these episodes out each and every week for the last 13 plus years at this point.
Right.
So thank you all so very much for your support, however you support us. Give us a like, drop us a comment, give us a review in whatever the podcast player you're choosing. We're also on YouTube. You can find us there as well. Anthony's got some new videos up there that you could check out in person. You get to see Anthony Chatfield talking about some incredibly cool things in board gaming and video gaming.
Yeah, check out those end of the year lists. I always have my top 10 lists, and I record those for the Patreon backers. And there are some select videos as well that are going up for everybody. But if you want all the lists, you want all my favorite stuff from last year, Patreon, check it out.
Excellent. All right, everyone. With that being said, let's get on to the episode. Let's roll for preview. All right, Anthony, I got a preview here for you. It's up on Kickstarter, and it will finally wrap up and back. It already reached its goal. And we talked about this previously. So, Anthony, its pledge goal, right? Well, let's put it this way. Currently, it's at $237,332 as we're recording. What do you think their pledge goal was?
What do I think the Thundercats role-playing game? Well, I'm guessing. I'm thinking.
I didn't mention the title yet. That was supposed to be part of the surprise.
Oh.
You ruined it. Yes, it is the Thundercats role-playing game. It's here. And it's Thundercats Ho. All right. I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to give that a little more boost. You could play as your favorite Thunderian in an awesome paper and pencil role-playing game. Because that's a thing now. Yay. All right, Anthony. They're making a lot of money. What do you think their backing goal was?
$10,000.
Okay. How about if I told you it was $1,985?
That's a dumb number.
I think it's a dumb number, but I'm wondering if it has something to do when it came out on TV.
Oh, that is when it came out.
Yeah. But it's also a dumb number.
It's a dumb number if you think that number matters.
I told you. These numbers don't matter anymore.
Which it clearly doesn't matter, right? Because they're like, it doesn't matter. We're going to get however much money we need to produce. Like, at a certain point as a backer, I'm like, well, how much money do you actually need from us? Because you're clearly not communicating that if you're making a joke out of the funding goal.
Yes. I wonder, in fact, if there's ever been a company out there who did that. Like, had a kind of a jokey kind of backing goal. And then they hit that goal and really nothing more than that. And then had to deliver on that goal. That would be a thing. That would be a rough day.
Yeah, right. Because you put up your stupid sticker that says "funded in 1 minute," which they have on their campaign here.
Yeah.
And they're like, actually, we're in trouble. We can't afford to
We're
produce
really
this.
in trouble. We meant it as a joke. We didn't know that you would take it seriously. Okay, we backed, but we can't afford to send this to anybody. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, cancel it with like 2 hours left. Kickstarter bans you.
Yes.
Like, we made a mistake.
Kickstarter knows what it's doing. Come on, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no jokes here. Well, let's talk about the campaign a little bit. So you're either a Thundercats fan or you're not. Let's just start there. If you are, whether it's the original show that came out in 1985 or the reboot that came out or the Super Kiddie version that came out, this could be possibly for you. Now, that being said, this is a first-time created project. Although, again, with RPGs, there's a lot more safety here because at the $40 level, they can send you a PDF and you're solid. So
Yeah.
not a huge kind of gamble. Will they actually produce this? If you're looking for the actual, hard print here, you're looking at $50. And then it goes up there as far as like fancy version. We're looking for $60 with all the, things that you're supposed to get. And then again, there's just like additional kind of goals with like dice and getting signed copies of this.
Yeah, and I mean it is a first time producer, but it is also like an established comic publisher. So like presumably they know what they're doing in terms of publishing a physical thing. It's not like some schmo. I don't know. It's not the most exciting looking campaign in the world. It's just a whole lot of text, right? There's very few images here considering they're selling a book.
It's shocking that there's not a lot more images again, because if they're pulling from the comic or the IP, you would think there'd be a lot more to kind of entice people here. And an RPG is all about pictures and text, so it would seem like it would be an easy campaign to throw together. Obviously, they already surpassed their $1,985.
Yeah.
That being said, it's a little more challenging. I will say one thing. Having played a lot of RPGs out there and being a fan of just RPG books in general, just even sometimes to collect, what I really like to see, or what I always hope to see at least, is that with RPGs, there's something new, right? Like, you could be a warrior, cleric, and does the thing with the mace, and the archer shoots the arrows, and there's a wizard. You're like, oh, okay. What's pretty cool here is Thundercats have a bunch of subclasses, and the subclasses do a whole bunch of different things that are quasi-related to the show, but also, kind of take the traditional tropes and do something a little different. So, you could align with the College of Omens, which is a bard gift with sight beyond sight. Again, all of this is very show related, giving prophetic insight in combat and social encounters. Cool. That's thematically connected, and it's also a bard, but it's a little bit different of a bard, which is pretty cool. And then obviously, again, the show itself, right? You could be a heckler. There's a subclass there. A rogue who disorients foes with taunts and cutting wit, leaving enemies frustrated and distracted. That's pretty cool too. How about you could be the subclass of ancient spirits of evil and good domain, right? Also very thematic. A cleric who walks the razor's edge of good and evil, granting power to allies or themselves. And there's a lot of these, which is pretty cool. I like that idea that there's just like a twist on the classic themes here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the benefit, I guess, of building on D&D 5e is like you have all these base subclasses. You could just say like barbarian, bard, cleric, druid, etc.
Yes.
But let's throw our own tweak on it from the Thundercats IP, which is cool. They're using it well.
Yeah, and they have all these different. I don't know if they would be considered species or race. So again, good guys, bad guys. Don't be Snarf. Just don't do it, man. Nobody wants to Snarf at the table.
Why would you play Snarf?
No, don't play Snarf, man. Like, be cool to your friends. Like, don't do that. That was a bad scene for us kids back in the day.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just not good.
Don't play Snarf and don't play the kids.
Yes. Wily Kitten Cat or something.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Yeah. But everything else is super cool. Again, if it's got the cool 80s theme, love to see RPGs. This is great. Maybe we'll see Silverhawks. That's a deep cut for you people out there. But again, Thundercats, the role-playing game, is here. See, I did it.
Yeah.
Check it out on Kickstarter right now because at the time that you're listening to this, you probably only have a day left. We're just saying.
Yeah, get in there now because it's gonna be closed soon.
Yes. All right, Anthony. So that's all our roll for a preview. How about some roll for a review? What'd you play this week?
All right. I want to talk about a game that I played a bunch over the holidays. Actually played it enough that it ended up on my top 10 list.
Whoa!
So, yeah, spoiler for that if you haven't listened yet. But this is number 8 on my top 10 list. And I think I overlooked it several times throughout the year because the artwork is simply atrocious.
But I talked about it.
You did talk about it, and then I looked at it and said, that's ugly as sin.
But that's the charm.
Okay, Moon Colony Bloodbath. I got to get the name of the game in there first.
Yes.
Just look at it's so, it's this weird, waxy, creepy doll look. People's teeth it's just really bad.
But it's that throwback to that kind of quasi 50, 60 space futuristic kind of thing.
But you could do that well. That's what I'm saying.
I know, and yet they
chose not to.
They chose not to. Exactly. Can we at least say that it's not AI driven? Can we say that?
Yeah. If this is AI, then I don't know what the prompt was.
Yes.
So, anywho, Moon Colony Bloodbath. This is a game from Donald X. Vaccarino of Dominion fame. So it's going to be card based.
I know that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty famous.
I think I have a copy of his game signed. I think he came to Myriad way back in the day, man.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that's funny. So this is from Rio Grande Games. Which means they usually do. They're like, here's a game, plop. They drop it in the middle of nothing, and everybody just kind of looks at it. And occasionally, someone's like, actually, that one's good. So that's what happened here. Around the mid-year, people are like, actually, that game might be good. And I still ignored it for a while because I'm like, but it's so ugly.
Aw. It's that little boo-loo.
Yeah, right. It's like some people find it cute ugly, and some people are just like, no, it's just gross ugly.
Aww.
So this is an engine building / engine losing game.
Oh, there you go.
And it's literally you build an engine up, and then it starts to fall apart.
I've heard of this concept previously in other games.
Yeah. It's a fun concept if you do it right. Because if you do it wrong, it's not fun, right? Because everything just falls apart.
Yes.
How the game works is you have several different types of resources, right? What they are doesn't super matter, but the most important one is your population, right? You have people on your moon colony. You start with 30, and the game is over for you when you run out of people, right? So there's a lot of stuff in the deck that is going to kill those people off. However, you can add more people through various effects. Also, you will build different cards into your tableau. Each card, not all of them, but most of them, has a population value. So you might build a card that powers up your mining ability. So now every time you mine, you also gain some food, right? So it's your basic tableau building. However, that card also is worth, let's say, 8 population. So later, when you run out of people, when they're all dead, you can cash out that building, you can destroy it, and suddenly you have 8 people to kind of feed into the game's maw as it eats all your people. So,
yeah, buddy.
let's say an event pops up and it's going to kill 7 people. You only have 4 left. You destroy that building for 8, and now you have a surplus of 5. So that's the push and pull of the game at a macro level. Yes. You need to build an engine that's efficient enough that can take care of certain things. You want to mitigate as much as you can, right? So there's bad effects that come up. Maybe like one of the times I played, I had a card that allowed me to ignore one of the event types. So it saved me 6 people per round, which is great. I had another card that let me not feed people if
jeez.
You have to have enough food for every building in your tableau every round. And there was a card that if a location had a crate on it, you don't have to feed that. So the people are fed by work, I guess. I don't know. Capitalism at work.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of that, and you can kind of build out your tableau accordingly. The most interesting part of the game, because that part's pretty interesting, but the most interesting part is how the turns work. There's a deck of cards in the middle of the table. It's a shared deck, and every turn you flip a card over, and that's what everybody does, right? In the deck, there are 4 cards that let you take an action. Everything else is stuff happens to you. most of it's bad, but some of it's good. So maybe you flip the card over and you have to feed everybody, or maybe you flip the card over and it says add a robot to your deck. If you add a robot to your deck, it's bad. Robots are bad. Robots always go bad. They kill everybody. But there's other things that happen as well. There's also 2 cards in that deck that add events. And what you're trying to do is get through that event deck. If you're playing solo, for example, the goal is to get through the full event deck without dying. I haven't done it yet. Gotten close. I got to the last card once. But to do that, you'd have to cycle through the whole thing 6 times, which is hard because it's as you keep adding those robots, they're going to cycle through. It's the event deck. The deck itself of the actions is like a deck building component where that keeps getting bigger. Every round, you're going to play more of those cards out, and they're going to hit you harder every time. So I like this game a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. It's quick. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. Everybody plays simultaneously, and the shared deck in the middle, people can add things to it. So as you're kind of going through things, you might pull out a card. You might have another thing that allows you to add a development to it. The events go in there. You have your own personal cards that go into that deck. And if those personal cards come up in the course of play, they only affect you, usually some kind of positive thing. That's kind of a cool element. And it all flows just very smoothly, very quickly. The tableau building is interesting. The only issue I have on the tableau building side is because of the card draw economy. Like if you can't get a card early that lets you draw extra cards, taking a full action, one of your 4 actions per round to draw cards is kind of sucks. Like you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. But you want to get a lot of cards because you want to be able to build a tableau that's as efficient as possible. You don't want to just throw random cards out that don't work together. You want that synergy, and you don't always get that right away. So it's got your typical tableau building, engine building problem of, are the cards coming in the deck in the right way? But it's not that big of a deck. So it's not like Terraforming Mars problematic. It's just like occasionally you're like, I really would like a card that lets me mitigate one of these bad things so I maybe can survive a little longer. And then it doesn't happen. So, but I think the speed of the game, it really kind of mitigates that too. It's a lot of fun. I like it quite a bit. I like the idea of the engine builder / destroyer. I think several games try this. Most of them don't do it very well, unless you're Vlada Shivano, and you're building like Last Will or something. You're working backwards.
Suchi.
Suchi. Sorry, yeah.
It's the other one.
The names. Yeah,
the other Vladimir. Yeah.
I got Vlad right. It's late, guys. But the thing here is it's relatively quick, and you are setting yourself up. Like you build up the thing in a way that you think it's going to peak around round 2 or 3, and then it's going to start disintegrating. Have you built something that can disintegrate efficiently? Right?
Yeah.
So it's fun. Obviously, I like it a lot. It's a buy for me. I put it on my top 10 list.
Nice.
If it was prettier, it might have been higher on the list.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, it's terrible artwork.
I said it's a terrible, like conceptually, like you said about like you're building up your moon colony only to have to like Soylent Green the populace.
Mm-hmm.
So I get, I understand what you're saying about the artwork. I do. I
guess the best way to clarify it is art direction is fine. I don't have a problem with art direction. Art execution, the actual art, I don't like.
Gotcha. You'll also be interested to know it's getting an expansion.
Ooh.
Yeah, this year,
2026.
Like yeah.
All right. Well, that's Rio Grande just being like lobbing a grenade because that's what they do.
Well, Dominion's getting another expansion, Arcana. So Donald is just pumping things out left and right.
That's true. It is a Vaccarino game. It's going to be like, here's 43 expansions for this game I made.
To be fair, it's 43 expansions after he said he would never make another expansion for the game.
I know. He's just bored at home.
He's just like, here's another thing. And people are like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, he only has 4 games on his gameography that don't have expansions.
That's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To be fair, most of his Dominion expansions could be their own game, considering sometimes like there's so much to it.
And half of those are standalones too. So
that's true. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, there's your roll for review. Anthony, that leads us now into the murky depths of crystal balls and chicken entrails, and I don't know what else thing you got to kind of predict the future. Time machine in or out, whether it's a hot tub based or it's a DeLorean based, or I don't know, time and space bends because interstellar things.
Yeah.
We are talking about predictions for 2026 because I don't know, it's fun. I don't know, we're doing a thing. It's a bit. We're doing a bit. We're doing a bit.
We're doing a bit, but these are also real. So
they are also real. These also
y'all have
will
to
or
dissect
will,
it.
These also will or will not become true. And by the end of the year, you'll probably forget about this episode. So, you won't come back and listen to this again. See, I did a thing.
Well, the whole fun of this is at the end of the year we have to say what we got right.
Oh, all right. Did we ever do that previously? Did we ever go back to?
Well, no, we always say what we got right. We don't go back to the ones we got wrong. So.
It's true. If you want to find those episodes, again, brand new, all shiny and clean, BoardGamersAnonymous.com website, where you can actually search for those older episodes where we did predictions. And some people were more right than others because vapors, Anthony,
vapors. Yeah.
Yes.
You've got those vapors on lock, man.
I'm telling you.
I'm just like we're across states from each other. I can't even smell the vapors.
No, you can't. It's start with psychology, move up to psychic. A little upgrade, a little
I
evolution.
knew there was something to that.
I can see it right now, Anthony.
Man, that's not cool.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. So we do not know each other's, and again, that's because fun is fun. We want to have some fun too.
Yeah.
So what do we think? One at a time, back and forth.
Yeah, we'll go back and forth. That makes sense.
And then we have 5 predictions for the future each. Plus, we have a little bit of a bonus prediction where we'll talk about what we think will be the game of the year, and we'll also talk about and predict what we think the Board Game Geek #1 game on their list, if it will actually change from brass to something else, or if it will stay as brass. Your bets are as good as mine because it's up there. It's a little bit challenging there.
No betting, we know.
Well, we do know, but we can't.
Remember
say
the vapors?
That.
Yeah,
we can't say that legally. We talked to legal about this, and they said no because people are going to go to those markets and bet on this.
Okay.
We can't, man. It's just for the people that are friends. They just got to know, man.
Yeah. I think I would get a little nauseous if I found out people were like betting on things based on this episode. Don't do that, please.
Get the speculation markets out there.
Yeah.
It's as good as anything else out there whatsoever.
It's true. At this point where we're at, why not?
All right. So, Anthony, why don't you start us off?
All right. I'm going to start with the downer, and then we can get to the funnier stuff.
Oh, okay.
No. None of them are funny. They're all serious. They're all happening.
Okay.
But I think this year we're going to see Asmodee.
Yes.
Or another major publisher.
Not
a small one, but a major one. Someone big.
Okay.
Will go bankrupt.
What?
I think it's happening.
No.
Yeah, listen, economic realities being what they are, not great. The tariff situation hasn't really gone away. We know Asmodee's saddled with a ton of debt.
Yes.
From
purposely.
Yes, purposely, but they were suitcased.
Yes.
And they're doing fine as a company, but like that's eventually you got to pay the debt back. So
okay.
And maybe they refi, maybe they get bought again, maybe they get sold off, they get broken up. I don't think that means the end of whatever this company is, but bankruptcy law being what it is, companies never really go away. But yeah, I think we're going to start to see consolidation in the bad way. Like we've seen consolidation of recently from mergers, but I think we're going to see consolidation from companies just not being able to sustain.
So Asmodee or another big company going under massive financial challenges, changes, purchases?
Bankrupt.
Okay.
It's going bankrupt. Yeah, we'll keep it specific.
Okay.
It is negative, but it's also like I legit think this could happen this year. Like
that's a strong accusation, Anthony. Just saying that.
It is. I told you I was coming at you with accusations.
You did. That's a burn, man.
Yeah. Someone's gonna do it,
and we're not talking Simon, right? Because they're already like on their last legs.
I mean, that would they are a major publisher, and they probably will go bankrupt at some point. But although who knows? I don't know how they're doing in terms of the restructure. Sure. They sold off so much IP. I don't know how much money they got from that or where they're at, and they're still fulfilling stuff. We'll see, but I don't know. Someone big Not like a mom and pop thing that's on
Sure.
Kickstarter, like a large company that produces stuff.
All right, Anthony. So here's my prediction, and it's a little opposite of yours. So I think this is going to get a little spicy or interesting. And this is wild prediction, but again, going with the vapors here, and there's a lot of vapors happening here. I'm going to say, am I going to say this? A franchise chain of friendly local game stores owned by a major company, perhaps Asmodee, will be announced this year.
Okay.
So, very much like Warhammer has their own
Sure.
stores.
Yeah.
My prediction here is that a major, large tabletop company is going to either own or franchise friendly local game stores to pop up throughout the country. This could also be Europe based. I think that we're at a point in the industry where tabletop gaming is flush, and there are so many now big box games that are just not getting played, but there's still attention for it and still interest in it. I think that we're going to look at one of these major companies actually not necessarily deal with the friendly local game stores, independent ones as they are, and start their own friendly local game stores. So there'll be maybe it's an Asmodee store, uh, or maybe it's a Stonemeyer store. But I think there's going to be an announcement of a store and then stores to come from a big publisher. I think they're going to start taking over that aspect of tabletop gaming.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think. Look, I mean, there's. I don't know if there's been another podcast out there. We've listened to so many over the years, and if there is, God bless you out there. But since the very beginning, this podcast started based on we wanted to support our friendly local game store. So I don't know anybody else whose core mission or starting goals was just that. And I think that over the years, the industry has not supported friendly local game stores, the independent ones, as they have should. And I think at a certain point, now more than ever, I think these big publishers are starting to feel the reduction in actually games being purchased because they're not getting played. There's not the organized play. And I think in order to own that organized play at a game store, they have to own the game stores. So I think they're going to come along, and I think just like Warhammer, you're going to see Asmodee stores or AEG stores, and it's going to be just AEG products, AEG gameplay, AEG organized play, and such.
That is so ambitious.
It
I
is,
would love to see that. Like one of the major companies has done that, and it failed.
yes.
Wizards of the Coast, they had stores.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. There used to be one in Jersey.
My local mall that I spent all my time at, they had a Wizards store right next to a Games Workshop. It was great. We'd spend hours there.
Yeah, it's. I think again, I think there's enough. There's so much money in the industry. I just don't think that it's. I don't think they. I think because they haven't supported the independent game stores. That's my hot accusation take here. Like, and I'll live and die by that because I've actually been to the presentations that they've had. I think that they are at a point where they're like, oh, damn, like that was the thing we should have been doing. Like we said we were going to do it. We really didn't do it. And now those stores have like dropped left and right. And they have. We know, like, we have many friends who've had stores.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to go, well, we have to come up with a plan to actually have our games played publicly. Because otherwise, you play the games, you play them at home. There's no third spaces anymore. I think you're going to have a corporate third space, whether it's a game store or a game cafe, something of that level. But again, I think that's coming back. I think, again, especially with out here in the United States on the Northeast, a lot of these malls have so much extra space now because purchasing products is all online. So I think it opens up an opportunity to have like a mall store where you have gameplay being played and people pay to play games.
We'll see. I don't know who's going to have the money left after all those bankruptcies, but you know.
Well, someone's got to have it. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. All right. My next one here. Let's shift to crowdfunding. And
okay.
listen, we've had a ridiculous glut of deluxe editions of board games in the last few years. I've ranted about this repeatedly, but also I'm weak and I keep making the same stupid decision and backing these games that sit on my shelf and never come off because they're too big. I think we see a drive of anti-deluxe editions of games.
Whoa.
Where crowdfunding campaigns will start producing smaller, compact versions of games with as little as possible in them to pitch to space and money-strapped gamers who've been buying these big boxes for years. So, yeah, sure, maybe you want the big fancy version of the update to Terraforming Mars, but what about a little version that you can put on your nightstand?
Aw.
Yeah, what about one you could throw in your backpack and carry with you to the store?
Did we see that little version of Catan that wasn't really playable?
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like this big. But like, companies see the value in that. You look at like a company like Button Shy, they're doing great. Those things fit in your pocket. Even Gloomhaven, they picked up that fan game, the Bugs and Buttons, and like it's a small little box version of Gloomhaven. The big giant box is so hard to carry with you, and you know what that does to your brand is people don't play the game anymore because they all have the big fancy version, and not everybody can invite everybody over to their house every time to play games. So I don't think it replaces the deluxe version. I think it becomes like another offering. And we see this occasionally. A company's like, okay, you can get the big fancy version, you can do the regular version with the meeples or the standees. But I think we go even lighter than that. I think we go smaller box, compact. Hey, you don't have a lot of room. We got a small, tiny, easy to play version for you. Maybe even buy it with the deluxe version. You could have your centerpiece on your shelf and then actually take this one with you to your friend's house. The anti-deluxe edition. I'm calling
anti-deluxe edition.
Anti-deluxe edition.
That is you're kind of high on some vapors, man.
Hey, that's what we're doing, right? That's what you told me to do. You texted me, you said, get high on the vapors and hop on the podcast. I did it.
Whoa. That's a thing.
There's definitely money in a $20 version of a game.
Is there?
No. But it'll make us happy, so,
It's true. It's true. For certainly. And I think that's we've predicted different versions of that throughout the years. Whether it was small or big. I think we've had that,
Yeah, it swings back and forth, but I think it's also a cycle. I think we've reached the peak of what people can handle. Like these games they're so big. Like I got the Food Chain Magnet Deluxe Edition in recently, and it's like much larger than I realized it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why? I mean, it's cool. The pieces look cool, but like this box is so big.
I have something connected to that, but I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
And I'll mention that when it comes out because I think you might be onto something, but I think I have a different take on that.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, what do I want to hit here? Okay, let's do this one. Essenspiel, the largest game. What would you call it? Trade show? It's a trade show, right?
Yeah, it's a trade show. Yeah,
it's a trade show. I'm predicting here based on the vapors. These are European vapors, so they take a little bit longer to get here. They got different accents. Will announce the addition of a structured gameplay to its convention, either through an integrated program adding to Essenspiel or by launching a sister convention event. Now, if you've never been to Essen, you may not know this. If you've been to only like American conventions, there's always like, oh, there's trade stuff I can buy, and then I can go play games, and there's events and programs. That's not true with Essenspiel. Essenspiel is purely boots, you go buy things, and you get out. I think that they've recognized now more than ever that they really have to embody more of the full experience of playing games. And I think that'll be announced this year.
All right.
Yeah.
I honestly, that one I could see. They have so much space, and like you can keep jamming more publishers in there.
Yeah.
Why not? But use the space, give people a chance to play, and like there's demo space. People can demo games at
Sure.
Essen. It's not like you can't play anything, but it's not the same as like on the conventions that we've been to here in America, where you have a hall for buying and a hall for playing,
yes,
and then space for everything in between.
Yeah, and Essen Spiel is gigantic when it comes to it's a trade show.
Yeah.
And it's purchasing, and that's what that bread and butter has been the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think PAX Unplugged, for example, is just growing exponentially. Obviously, Gen Con's been around forever, and there's other game conventions. That was also another thing I was looking at through the vapors, like looking at a lot of the Asian game conventions coming together. I think Essen feels the need to do that, and I think they'll announce that at Essen this year.
All right, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my next one is it kind of goes with my last one, my anti-deluxe editions. I think we're gonna see the advent of the Mega Deluxe Edition.
Whoa!
Right? I think we're going in both directions at the same time.
Goodbye, KLXs. You're gone. You're done.
Right. I mean, you can't really get much bigger than they're getting. And, last year we saw like the Lord of the Rings confrontation with the table, and like that's going to arrive on a crate in the back of a pickup truck. We're seeing these like productions that are like essentially installations in your home. But they're kind of like these very specific one-off things. Like that's a $3,000 investment. That's not for everybody. I think we're going to see companies want to triple dip. We're going to hit the cycle where, okay, we did the game 15 years ago, 5-10 years ago, we did a deluxe edition. How do we one-up that? How do we get people to buy this again when they already bought the deluxe edition of the game? We could make a sequel, we could make a new game, or we could make a mega deluxe edition. It could be bigger. It could be integrating other stuff. It could add just size to it. And I think the result of that is you're going to get games shipping out in multiple pieces.
Oh boy.
We'll get our first deluxe edition game that arrives in a crate.
Wow.
Like, legit.
So you're talking bigger than a table stand with like Lord of the Rings. Bigger than that.
Yeah, I think that the Lord of the Rings thing, the game itself on that table is the same size as the normal game, right? Like it's not crazy.
Yeah.
The table is the ridiculous part. I think we're getting games that are going to be that ridiculous.
Whoa.
I think somebody's going to do it this year. They're going to be like, here's a $1,000 board game with all the stupid nonsense you could want.
Like the Franklin Mint versions, like back in the day?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Wow.
Like someone's going to swing for that. Will people buy it? I guess we'll find out. And then would be crazy if they also had the anti-deluxe edition in that campaign, but I don't think they will. I think if they're going to go for Mega Deluxe, you're not going to go for anti-deluxe.
So it's going to be like a hard split.
I think so. I think we're going to see the split, and I think the market will tell us which way people want to go.
Okay.
Because people will still buy that crazy big stuff for FOMO and for the sake of of having it, but how many people will, and how many people are going to continue to back these things at the levels they do, that's what we'll see.
Okay. I like that. I definitely could see that happening. I think they've kind of like tiptoed a little bit around that, and I think that's certainly something that could pop up any day now.
Yeah.
So
there are people poking at it, and honestly, part of this is like we looked at our list last week of like upcoming games.
Yes.
So many of the big games coming this year that are going to crowdfunding or whatever are like 2.0s or 3.0s of games. Yes. Like, let's take a Feast for Odin and make it even bigger.
Yeah.
Cool. What does the deluxe edition of that look like? Is it the size of my desk? I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, they at some point the publishers are going to want to test the bubble, right? And obviously, you have Gloomhaven out there. You had all the different CMON games with like gigantic stuff. You had all the United games, had all the different plastic figures in it. So, yeah, no, I could definitely see that happening for sure. All right, I have a two-parter, but I'm going to leave that a little bit. Recently, I think as of yesterday, in fact, the 2026 Golden Globes, they gave out their first podcast award. So the Golden Globe for Best Podcast went to Amy Poehler's Good Hang. So there were other podcasts here as well. Smartless, Call Her Daddy, Armchair Expert, so on and so forth. But Amy Poehler, celebrity, actress, comedian, good. She won for Good Hang. Odd, right? So Golden Globe, first time ever podcast winner. Now, I'm not going to say it. You know what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it, but I do believe, in fact, that next year, in 2027, a TTRPG podcast will receive a Golden Globe nomination for podcast of the year.
I think that's a great call. It like the field this year, it reminded me when they introduced, remember when in the 80s it was like, we have a new category at the Grammys for metal music.
Oh yeah, the Jethro Tull?
The Jethro Tull one over
Yeah.
Metallica, and people are like, what are you guys doing? Do you know what metal music is?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And again, Amy Poehler's podcast is very good. I think it's funny. She's great. But it's a celebrity talking to their celebrity friends.
I know.
It's not the art form. It's just a discussion, which is what most podcasts are. That's what we do. But
It's
but the art form, what's happened there, what's developed out of that, goes so much beyond that. And if you're going to recognize the best, then there's investigative journalism.
Yes.
There's people embedded. There was an
NPR one that was nominated too that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but yes.
There's story-driven ones where people have whole narratives, and there's the TTRPG, the actual plays. There's so much interesting stuff happening out there.
Yeah.
So like celebrity talks to their friends is not.
No.
And there was like 2 or 3 of those nominated. Like Smartless, I love those guys. It's not a great podcast.
No. And it's whatever you may think of her or the podcast explicitly, of course. It's in a lot of these celebrity podcast based things. It's kind of lazy, to be honest. Like it's kind of easy. I mean, it's easy lazy, not bad lazy, but it's easy lazy, right?
Right.
And like I used to listen to a lot of Office podcasts.
Yeah.
The Office, the TV show, and like creative and dynamic and fun and real fans and just great. And now they have Office ladies, which again, great ladies, wonderful having the actresses from the show. Not nearly as good as the podcast I used to listen back in the day.
Yeah.
And again, it's just because they put real work and effort to it. And I think, like you said, in that specific context, Anthony, I think it's going to take a while because, again, she's very beloved. And again, it's not a slight against her personally, but I think podcasting generally, like, it needs, like, a good podcast needs more effort and spirit to it than I'm rich and famous and super well connected, and I call one of my super rich and famous, well connected people, and then we just talk. Like, again, it's fine. Like, Anthony and I are super wealthy and famous and well connected, and we talk every week, but we put more effort into it than that.
Do we?
No. But if we did, that would be a real podcast, and we would be nominated for the Golden Globe, podcast of the year. But you know who does do that, Anthony? TTRPG focused podcast.
So much work, yeah.
So much incredible work. So much value there. I mean, again, I don't have to run through like all the wonderful names that you know already. And I think that needs to be valued. I'm hoping that it happens in 2027. It might happen in 2028, but it's got to happen because the quality and effort that are put into those are just incredible, phenomenal. Like, these are old-timey radio shows from like back in the day. So it's just, it breaks my heart that like we've been doing podcasts for over 13 years. So like, I think we're legitimate. We can call ourselves legitimate podcasters, right? We have multiple podcasts, hundreds of episodes across, So like, it's just, it's easy, but there's an art form and a creativity to it. And I think I believe that it will be recognized. I'm hoping it's next year. It might take 2028 just because I think once people realize like, oh, wait a minute, maybe they need one more year of like doing the obvious thing, and then they'll get to like 2028 and give it to like a TTRPG for a nomination. I don't think we're going to go as far as giving it to the award yet, because I think like we see with Andor at the Golden Globes and a lot of these award ceremonies, like, fantastic show, surpasses genres, the acting, the directing, the writing, all that stuff like that. And then the Golden Globes, like, no one's recognizing it. Just like, why? It's like, okay, it's a genre show, therefore you don't get awards. You don't get an award. Why would you get an award? So
it's weird where they draw that line, though. This is a whole separate conversation, but like, it's a weird where they draw that line where you're like, oh, Game of Thrones, everybody's agreed it's prestige, so we'll give it a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
Andor, we haven't agreed that's prestige. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's still action figures. I'm like, okay, did you watch it though? I don't know.
It's and if you haven't watched Andor already, and if you don't like Star Wars, like, you need to watch it now more than ever, because it's it's really, I think it's somewhat quintessential to the human experience. You know, like, I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but I do think TTRPG focused podcast will receive a Golden Globe nomination for 2027, if not 2028, for sure.
I love that. I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. My next one, starting to go out on a bit of a limb here because we've seen what happens when this is attempted. But we've had we've had board games based on lots of things, right?
Sure.
It's a great medium for like reinterpreting other texts, whether it's a book or a movie or a video game. I can think of one of each of those that came out in the last 12 months that was good, right? Because a board game is such an authored experience and it can take whatever it wants and kind of play with it in an interesting way. I think this year, and I don't think it'll come out this year, but I think we'll get an announcement of something that will look good, whether it's a video game or a movie, based on a board game.
Sure.
That is as good looking as the board games based on video games and movies.
No.
Yes.
Why? How?
Yes, how? Why? No, like something to the quality that like you look at a War of the Ring or a Star Wars Rebellion and you're like, that's a cool looking game based on that IP.
Yes.
I think we'll get a movie where it's based on an IP from a game or maybe a video game, it building out one of those. I think we've come close a couple of times where like we've had like Tainted Grail was an interesting looking game that some people talked about, or Gloomhaven or Frosthaven, but they're still kind of stuck in the moors of the tabletop it's based on.
Yes.
I think there's a next step there where you could take the core mechanics of like a 4X game, something big and sprawling. You could build an IP based system out of that, whether it's like a TI4 or an Andromeda's Edge or, you know, something big. Obviously, like there needs to be some substance to it. You can't make another Battleship the movie type thing.
They will.
Well, yeah, I was about to say Hasbro's doing a bunch of stuff right now. I'm not thinking of any of that. This will look good. Is what I'm saying. It'll look good. We'll see a trailer or hear an idea and you're like, that actually sounds pretty good. And I think it's a whole potentially unexplored area of IP that at some point someone's going to realize exists and it's going to start to mine. Sure. And I hope that we get something good out of it. And part of the reason why I think this is happening is, or will happen, is we're starting to get good video game adaptations after 40 years of failure, right? They're not all great. Like that Minecraft movie was not great, but it was effective, right? It did what it needed to do for its audience. I think we're going to start to see more of that from other places. They're going to start looking around and being like, okay, these video games are all interesting, but like, what else do we have? Oh, these tabletop games have their own kind of IPs. So let's build on that. So I think it's coming. I think we'll see the first of announcement this year where people actually turn their heads and are like, wait, really? A Gloomhaven movie? What? Like, I think something like that's going to happen.
Very cool. Like it. All right. Well, I got something very similar to that. I'm going to, again, we've seen tabletop roleplay games. We've seen them happen live and recorded. And we've seen them on YouTube, and we've seen them on Twitch, and we've seen them on some like way off kind of channels. Obviously, they've done big conference and conventions and stadiums. I'm going to say that a tabletop roleplay game live series, will be announced to be part of their major broadcast programming next year.
Next year? Okay.
Yes. So it'll be announced this year that you'll have a brand new TTRPG. You'll have a group, probably actors of some sort, of some level, maybe your B or C, D list kind of actors. Maybe an AGM might be thrown in there. And that's going to be for a major television broadcast. So one of the major networks or one of the super major, how would you say it, cable TV shows like an HBO, if HBO is still around at this point, goodness knows, only knows. But I think you're going to see it on TV. I think that it has now reached the point that it's become so popular and it's so dynamic. It's got a foot in that kind of reality TV show, but also with the stage play kind of stuff that people like to see. And I think that this year they'll announce that, like in 2027, it'll be announced this year, 2026, that 2027 we'll see something like Critical Role or something of that nature on like one of the major TV networks.
Are you thinking a narrative based show or like an actual reality TV show? Because on the reality side, they'll do anything about anything. I could definitely see that. But what are you thinking?
Yeah, I I think it'll be a narrative based show.
Okay.
I think we'll get a narrative based show, but I think that there will still be. I don't think it'll be scripted. I think this will be actually a live play.
Okay.
So does what I'm saying, like, kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, it's got to be D&D, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's not like you took like a reality show where you just take people and you're like, hey, let's play D&D and let's all sit around and play D&D. Like, I don't think they're going to risk that. I think it's going to be narrative based. It's going to be written out to, like, the DM stuff is all going to be kind of like plotted storylines, all plotted out, and then you have those actors kind of play within that kind of improvisational framework.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's going to be page. I think that's something new and hip for the major networks to take a look at that they may not have done. That might be low cost, and again, it has a built-in audience into it already. And I think that it's historically at a point where it's about to pop into in a very positive way.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great. I think it's a cool idea. Like someone in some executive suite has to be looking at me like, they sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like, who's this? Dimension 20 what? Yeah, like the cred is there.
Yes.
So. All right, my fifth and final one here. I cringed a little bit in writing this, but I do believe it's true. I think it's happening. I think publishers are going to start experimenting with AI.
Oh boy.
Yeah, which could go a lot of bad ways. But what I specifically think will happen, and I think this will be beneficial if they do it well, which again we'll see, is I think we'll start to see the inclusion of links to custom chatbot assistants in the rule books to help answer rules questions. So
okay,
we've already started to see, like, you get QR, you open up the box, there's a QR code for a video or like a dice tutorial. And those are helpful, but especially in this increasing age of where you have board games with like these crazy rule books. Like I played Elder Scrolls over the Christmas break. And that is an enormous rule book. It's like 140 pages plus a tutorial that's like 40 pages. And there's a tutorial video, and then there's dice, and that's like 3 hours. It would have been very helpful if there was a way to just ask a system about, like, hey, where is this particular thing mentioned in the rule book, right? Or what is the specific rule? And the problem with using like just ChatGPT or Notebook LLM or any of those tools to answer rules questions is sometimes they make stuff up. So you don't know if it's true or not, right? But if you build a custom chatbot, you just feed it in the information that you provide and you say, hey, you're reading from this document. You do narrow that scope a little bit. Like, you can build your own GPTs, you can build your own systems, and you can link to those and share those with people. You're seeing it in some other industries. I think it's possible we start to see something here. You'll go to a lot of like larger companies' websites. Their FAQ section, their help sections are often kind of tweaked to use these tools. I think it would be useful, but also it's an easy way to kind of integrate this stuff and see how people respond to it, which is what a lot of companies are starting to try to do. I don't want to see it bleed over into the realm of the creative, but
sure,
there's also the risk that we see that and the fallout that comes with that. But my specific prediction is we start to see them monetize it within like the rules specifically and how those are presented to people.
Interesting. I mean, it's got a lot of positive ups on it, of course. We talked about that more in our AI episode too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm notoriously extremely skeptical of AI, but
sure,
if you keep it narrow enough, if you keep it ethical, and it's really, you're only using your own produced work, I think it can be a useful tool for people. If it's a mishmash of slop, then it's not going to help anybody and it's going to waste time. But I do think there's people are already doing this. So you're using chatbots to answer rules questions for games. If we could formalize that, make sure it's accurate, that would be helpful, right?
Yeah, it could obviously help with the language independent issues where just a lot of people, and the translation issues just in rule books too. I mean, we've dealt with that for so many years.
Rule books are bad. Yeah. And it's not to say that the chatbot will be better at interpreting the rules than we are, but it'll be consistent to some degree. And at least you can be able to find stuff. Like, my big thing is if I have an 80-page rule book, I hate flipping through that thing trying to find stuff. Like, there's no easy way to do it. Like, having a searchable system serves a purpose.
Or even the erratas, I think would be a great idea, because I can't tell you how many games I've played a game and then just like you flipping through the BGG plane and like, oh, there's an errata for this. Like,
Yeah.
if there was a quick way to just double check that was a thing, so that we wouldn't play the game wrong and then get home and realize like, oh, that's a thing that should not have been done in the game. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it could just, like you said, if it's kept within reason, it could point out just like the broad points. I think that'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, and my final one here, a little bit of a hot take here, a little bit of an accusation across the board. Magic the Gathering will be acquired by a larger corporate entity, or spun off as an independent brand, or sold amid market speculation about its long strategic value. Now wait for it, and then inevitably fail.
Yeah.
So Magic the Gathering's been around for quite some time. Over the last couple of years, has exploded with all the different IPs out there, and it is beyond the point in which Wizards of the Coast could properly manage it. And we're starting to see some cracks in their strategic, output. And historically, they've had a lot of people in charge who did not understand tabletop gaming. They've come from a lot of different industries, have tried to squeeze a lot of blood out of the stone, even though there was nothing wrong with it. Magic the Gathering was doing quite well, was holding up Wizards of the Coast, along with D&D. And now we're seeing like how much they can actually get out of it, all the different IPs. This is not going to end. It's going to start getting bigger. I think that at this point, it shows, it looks like it's showing so much value that it will be purchased, spun off as far as like its own company, or again, there's going to be some corporate sale or transformation, or something's going to happen to just Magic the Gathering as a game, as far as a company product is concerned, either purchased or taken into other people's hands. And I think at that point, I think it's necessary. I do think it's necessary that this does happen at some point. But I think historically we've seen that like it's grown so fast, and I think that like with these kind of games, it takes time. And I know that for a company that's, trying to meet stockholders' expectations, they don't want that, right? They just want money. They just want this thing to produce money and value.
Money. Yeah.
And I think that like D&D and Magic the Gathering are incredibly valuable products, because they've had so much investment from so many people for so very many years, that I think that like this mass expansion, I think, is at a breaking point. I think someone's going to take it, see, again, it's so big now at this point, try to expand it maybe even a little bit more, and I think it's going to break. I think it's a bubble, a very pretty bubble, but I think it's a bubble.
Yeah. I definitely agree on the bubble. The interesting thing here is like Wizards, in particular Magic, are like what's propping up Hasbro.
Yeah.
So like for this to be sold, something has to happen to the rest of Hasbro, which is not necessarily not going to happen. Like the toy industry has been challenged for a while now. Kids don't really play with toys,
especially with all the tariffs out there.
Yeah, right. So like, is this like another company buying Hasbro and then pulling, that off of there? Like when Asmodee bought Mayfair and pulled Catan out of it.
Yeah.
Is this a situation where like, private equity gets involved and starts chopping it up, and Magic's the most valuable piece? Like, none of those things are pretty, but I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah, again, they do have a lot of value, and I think from a shareholder's point of view, they want to see that value come to fruition, when they don't understand that like it's already there. Like they already did it. It's just nothing can have infinite expansion and growth and value. Like it just doesn't do that. Nothing.
The great lie of capitalism. Yeah.
And I think you see that a lot in, for example, like the new Star Trek shows out. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I think historically what we've seen a lot with just very popular IPs out there is that a lot of times these studios and companies want more people interested and involved in the product, and think that the way they do it is by fundamentally changing the product into something that it's not, to appeal to other people. And instead of doing what I think they should do, or historically D&D and Magic has done, is like showing off the incredible value of the products as they are.
Yeah.
And I think Star Trek hasn't done that, so I think that's why it's floundered a lot lately. And I think that's typically, I think the companies are learning the wrong lessons. Like,
companies learn the wrong lessons.
Yeah, that's a hot take, man. That's
I
some
know, all these
speculation
CEOs,
there.
man. I thought they were the smartest people in the room.
No,
That's what I've been told. I was told you need a CEO to run everything because they're geniuses.
Yeah, they too will be one day replaced by AI. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we've had this conversation over numerous episodes throughout the years. I think we even had Will on at one point talking about this. It's just, I think games have a different type of community than other products, and there's a different personal investment. And I think we saw that with Wizards of the Coast getting so much pushback with D&D when they try to mess with it, and people were like, no. Like,
yeah, well, because like people already have that feeling of like ownership over IP and fandom, but it's different when you literally have ownership over this thing. Like, yeah, you gave me a book, but I built a whole thing out of that book.
And you said it was okay at one point.
Yeah, you said I could do all this, and this is a thing I own. It's a piece of me in this, of my soul, and now you're gonna charge me for it or take it away, or games are different like that. You really like are a part of it.
And again, I think, certainly when they overexpand and, expand beyond their reach, I think it deflates quite quickly because you lose the specialness to it.
Right. Yeah, like this year they're releasing, I think, 7 or 8 sets, and 4 of them are IP based, and it's just so much. It's so much content. For Magic.
It's true.
Yep.
All right, well, there you go. Our super incredibly hot dynamic takes. Anthony, let's get on to our predictions for the future. Let's start off with what we think our game of the year will be.
All right. So I have 2 here.
I have 2 as well.
Yeah. So my personal game of the year,
I did not predict, and yet I got correct.
We did it.
I got 2. Happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So my personal game of the year, I think, is this is not based on anything because I haven't played any of these, but I think it's going to be Revenant.
Oh, wow.
Not Grey Loon. Not. Because I could only be so lucky for that game to be as good or better than Spirium. So I'm just
That's so funny, man.
It's going to hold my breath. But Revenant, I've seen a lot of that game. I know that it looks good. It's in a world I love. It looks pretty. They've done a lot of work on it. I think it's going to be very good. It's Mind Clash, so the game's going to be solid.
Sure.
Grey Loon, best case scenario, it's the same as a game I already have and love, and I'll still buy it, but I don't think it'll be my game of the year if it's just doing the same stuff. It'd have to do something different and better. And there are things we've said that could make Spirium a better game. If they do those things, if we have more C cards, we have some more like expansion level stuff, that'd be great. But barring that, and if it's just a reskin, then I think it'll be Revenant.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a little bit of you're taking a chance there, but Mind Clash usually does deliver, and obviously their last couple of games have been really tight. So
yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got 2 games here too, so I should give my first one then, I guess.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit more on the obvious side, but I think for you and I, for 2 reasons. One, let me just say it. It's Brass Pittsburgh. Now, this obviously will Brass Pittsburgh deliver before the end of the year? Will we actually get a chance to play it? I think so. I'm feeling optimistic that the game will actually get to people. And there are 2 reasons why. I think you and I both know Brass quite well, like Brass a lot. And you and I have both at some point spent time in Pittsburgh. So I think that this is a game that when it gets back to us, as far as backers are concerned, and it's supposedly supposed to get back to people this year before the end of the year, I think we will easily get to play it quickly because it's supposed to be somewhat of a more of a slimmed down version, sleeker version of Brass. So I think we'll get it to the table. It'll be easier to play. It's supposed to be, in some cases, a little bit better. I don't know if that's possible, but it's supposed to be better. And I think that's going to really gel with us. I think it's going to fit really well.
Yeah. I've I feel really strongly about this one. I didn't put it on here because I don't think it'll ship this year.
Okay.
The campaign's going up sometime soon. It's close, but
Sure.
I think anything less than 12 months on the crowdfunding delivery at this point, I don't have the confidence that they pull it off.
Yeah, since they've done the other brasses, that's my hope that they already have their ducks in a line for this.
I hope so.
But
I would love to play it this year.
Yeah. What's your second one, Anthony?
All right, my second one, this is the one I think will end up being our game of the year overall, when we do the BGA awards, is The Great Library.
Yeah.
I think Vital Lacerda, in the past, we've had game of the year from Lacerda. On Mars was our 2020 game, or 2019, 2020 game of the year. And it's been a while, right, since we've had one from Lacerda that really knocked it out of the park for us. Weather Machine, not so much. Inventions was fine. Speakeasy doesn't really fit us in terms of theme. I think The Great Library is more interesting in theme. It looks better in execution. It looks broadly more interesting as a game. Very beautiful, of course. I think he's back. I think this is the year Lacerda comes back. It's been a few years, but I think he's back for us.
All right. I thought about that. I looked at the game. I really like so many different aspects of it. I'm hoping he's back. I haven't played any of his super, super recent games, so I'm hoping that this is the one back. I could see that. I could see it being a thing. I think it's hard. I'd like to see him back. The guy's back.
Yeah. This is a little bit hopeful for me. Like, I hope this is the case. But it does look like the kind of game that could click. And this one will almost certainly be out. They have like the same delivery cycle every year. It'll come out it'll ship in like October, November. So excited for this one.
Well, I got another crowdfunding one that's already been crowdfunded. So again, I'm taking another little hot take on this as far as will we get it in time to get a chance to play it. But it is from a publisher that we've dealt with previously. So at the very least, we should hopefully, maybe, possibly, I don't know if we'll get a review copy. But nonetheless, you backed it. I'm looking forward to play it. It is Deco.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is one of the games that I think it's going to really pop with people because it is, I think you mentioned this earlier, and I'm taking a cue from you here, Anthony. I think it's quick playing. I think it's based on the poker mechanic that people know very well, the deck building mechanic. It's got a lot of little cool extras to it. It's got the clay poker chips, which is always fun. And it comes from, the designers of Villagers, Streets, and Moon. 3 games that we've liked, 3 games that were well packaged and small and compact and easily playable. So I could see this really popping pretty big. I think this is obviously based on a video game that you might want to talk about. But I think this could be it. I think this is one of those games that could really pop with us.
Yeah, I love the idea of this. I'm a huge fan of Balatro. I've played so many hours of that. I'm hoping this is different enough that they don't get in trouble legally once the game is actually being published. But it's a cool formula. It's a fun way to play a game, and I think this, it really could hit. Like, if it really does feel like that and play similar to that in any way, or not necessarily directly like that, but just has a similar feeling of just like quick, accessible engine building, production within the game. I think really they could have something here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, there you go, everybody. Our super hot, super vapor-induced predictions for 2026. Hopefully all these things will be announced, will happen, will get to the table, and we'll be able to experience them all with you. And maybe we'll remember this episode next year and talk about how incredibly right we were, because that's the way these things go 100% of the time. Yeah,
you can't stop us. We're always right.
Until next year, when we review these things and feel really sheepish about the whole thing, but maybe, possibly, get a couple of these right and blow away the public. This is Chris.
Hey, and this is Anthony.
And we'll save you all a seat at the table for 2026. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Hi there, I'm Hugh from Poderation. If you like today's show, why not check out Dungeons and Dragonfruits, the bizarre, strange, and queer in every sense of the word D&D podcast. Join 5 friends as they laugh, learn, and adventure their way through the weird, wonderful world of Widdershins, where dragons hatch from trees and have adventures of all forms in every shape and size. Available wherever you can get your podcasts.